All right, finna go ahead and get started. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Life of a Champ podcast. For today's episode 202, we're going to be discussing an interesting topic, what everyone needs and few want to hear. Now, this is going to be a topic that I believe everybody has to hear. A few things I want to say before I go and get started. Make sure you go and follow me on Twitch, TikTok, and on Rumble, as well as on Spotify at Life of a Champ podcast on every single platform. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you go and tap in with my YouTube Shorts, as well as on my Instagram. I've been posting more reels. If you can't catch the full podcast but still want to get some of the wisdom that I've been talking about, that is going to be your best bet for sure. And other than that, is there anything else I want to say? Oh yeah, if you don't know me, my name is Champ, and I help men build their foundation of masculinity. And if you need some help from me, feel free to reach out. Any platform, I'll be willing to help you out. If you have any questions or anything, let me know for sure. To get it started, I want to kind of set the table like this. So, to answer the question, right, what everyone needs and few want to hear, this is going to be the truth. Now, the truth is going to come in many different forms, and with it coming in a lot of different forms, I do believe that it is one of the most absolutely necessary things when it comes to the foundation of anything worth having or being a part of is the truth, right? Anything that's worth having or worth building, it should not be set on a foundation that has cracks of dishonesty, right? So whether this is literally anything, whether this is relationships, whether this is the government structure, whether this is literally anything, I guess, literally anything. A customer or business relationship, whatever it is, I do believe that it needs to have honesty, and that is going to look like truth telling and truth seeking. More importantly, I think both of those go hand in hand and are of the foundation of what's worth having within this life. So with this being said, I want to extend out a challenge for you. And if you're already doing this, good for you. But if you know you have tendencies to struggle with this, I want you to go ahead and challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to try to tell the truth a lot more, regardless of the outcome. This is going to be one of the biggest challenges for a lot of people, right? For me personally, I've been working on this. I have definitely been a lot better than I've ever been up until this point in my life. I tell the truth more, way more, probably like 98% of the time. And that is being truthful. That is being truthful. And I would say there's a lot of people who like to not tell the truth, and they like to obviously live and deal with the consequences of not telling the truth. And for me personally, that is not something that I'm willing to go ahead and deal with because I don't have to deal with that, right? You need to be honest. You need to be a man that moves with integrity. And I do believe that speaking the truth or your truth is the act of the highest good. It is trying to maintain order in a situation. Even if it can bring chaos, you're bringing as much order to the situation as you possibly can. And whatever happens outside of that is exactly what was supposed to happen. And more importantly, it is the best thing that was meant to happen. Because here's the thing, you can easily try to get away with lying. And this is what a lot of people like to go ahead and do. They like to just lie. They like to try to get a favorable outcome out of a situation by lying, right? But if you lie, you must understand thoroughly that this life has a very funny way of teaching you lessons. And the funny way that it teaches you the funny way it teaches you is through karma, right? Some people believe in karma. I truly believe in karma. I don't understand anybody that doesn't believe or understand that concept, right? If you do bad, bad's gonna happen to you. If you do good, good's gonna happen to you. Bad and good should both happen to you. Nonetheless, the more good you do, the more good's going to happen upon you. So, with that being said, if speaking the truth is acting of the highest good, not telling the truth is acting in the highest bad. And even if it gives you a favorable outcome, it's still the worst situation that could have ever been. If you tell the truth, and obviously sometimes the truth is a little less flattering than what people want to hear, right? I like I mentioned in the title, right? Few people want to hear the truth, but everyone needs it. And even if it can be perceived as bad, being honest and being vulnerable through telling the truth is at least trying your best to try to navigate through your environment with the utmost authenticity that you know how. And if you telling your truth upsets someone, that situation is the example of what is the best that could have been from that situation. Because you did all that you could do, which is tell the truth. And it's as simple as that. If you were to lie in that situation, just to try to smooth the waters, right? Just to try to provide social lubrication so you don't necessarily upset somebody, you're acting within dishonesty. You're putting cracks in the foundation of the you're putting cracks in the foundation of the situation or of the interaction or of that relationship with that person. And are those cracks truly worth it? Because the worst possible outcome is this. You lie, first of all, even if it gives you a favorable outcome, and let's just say they find out. And I would say a lot of the time, even if you do lie, the truth will always come to light. That's how life is meant to be. The truth will always come to light. And with that being said, if you're not willing to deal, if you're not willing and wanting to put up with the potential of you getting caught in your lie, then don't lie at all. This is why I have a hard time nowadays struggling with lying. Because quite frankly, I'm not willing to put on a facade time and time again just so I can make everything go the way that I want it to go. That is not even acting realistic with this world, right? You're trying to avoid yourself from the inevitable. You're trying to manipulate situations, and it is that deep when you do lie. You're trying to manipulate social situations to get a favorable outcome. And here's the thing: if the situation's not favorable, it's just that it's not favorable. There's going to be plenty of situations in life that are going to be favorable, and there's going to be plenty of situations in life that are not going to be favorable. But to act and to give yourself the illusion that you're making this situation have a favorable outcome through lying is deceiving yourself and deceiving everyone around you. To deceive and to be deceptive doesn't allow for the best possible outcome. You must act with honesty and truth, and whatever happens is the best that could have happened, right? So this goes within a social situation, right? So that's why I believe, and I believe you should, and this is what I live by, man. You just tell the truth, man. Whatever happens happens at that point. You can't control whatever happens after you tell the truth. What you can do is control your ability to tell the truth. And here's the thing, I would say there's probably people in my life that don't want to hear the truth as much as I tell it. But here's the thing, I know for damn sure those people don't want to hear a lie, even if they know that it potentially could make for social lubrication, right? It'll ease everything. It'll make everything seem like it's okay. But I don't want to live with that personal burden. Now, the question I have for you is this: are you willing to tell the truth? Are you willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations that the truth may provide you with? Or are you going to lie? Do you want to be a liar? Is that part of your identity? Do you want to continue to put on constant facades to try to avoid yourself from facing reality? And I hope the answer is no. I truly hope the answer is no. And up until this point, if you're in your life and you think it's the best for you to go ahead and lie, then quite frankly, you haven't matured enough. This is something that is a harsh realization that I believe everyone has to. You need to tell the truth to others, and more importantly, you need to be honest and truthful to yourself. Are you living out your potential? Are you doing as much as you can do? And if the answer is no, or if you're trying to convince everybody that the answer is yes and the reality is it's no, you're lying. And there's different types of lying, and I want to kind of put an emphasis on this as well. You can lie in many different ways. You can lie by not telling the full truth. The full extent of the truth is indeed a lie. So with that being said, do you want to be a person that tells the truth, or do you want to be just like most people who are willing to lie to try to manipulate a social situation, to try to manipulate reality in real time? Is that even really worth what could be? And like I said, I already explained this. What could be is somebody or something finding out about the lie that you told, your dishonesty, or your lack of not telling the truth, or telling the full extent of the truth. That is not a favorable. That is not a. That's not a favorable destiny, in my opinion. So, like I said, what side are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the side that tells the truth, or are you going to be the side that doesn't? I'm going to read one of these comments. Just because the truth can be pain, can bring pain, it doesn't mean it's bad. Just because lies avoid pain doesn't mean it's good. Exactly. And there's a few different elements I want to mention with this, with telling the truth, right? I'm going to give you my perspective on the social situation of the way that I perceive the, let's just say, the governing forces that be. I don't believe that we should live in this society where they refuse to tell us the truth, the full extent of the truth. Reality is very difficult. Reality is very difficult to exist in for everyone, right? And if there is more unflattering realities that exist, that would just be a part of the unflattering truths that exist anyways. So why not always tell the truth? And like I said, deal with the consequences of the truth. Why would you want to withhold information? Why would you want to deceive millions of people? Who wants to live in a society where they're not telling the truth? For me personally, that is not a society that I ideally would like to live in. Obviously, I can't control what is the governing forces that be, but at the same time, I believe within your best interest in life to try to find the truth. So not only to be truth telling, but to be truth seeking. You need to be a seeker of the truth. I am a self proclaimed seeker of the truth. I will bring on pain within myself. I will bring on discomfort of myself if the end goal is truth, if the end goal is to be more conscious and less naive. That is what I do, and that is what I've always done. When it comes to self-improvement in general, right? When it comes to bettering yourself, you are going to be painfully aware of some truths that most people really hide from themselves. They a lot of people, instead of facing reality and sitting with the truth, most people, if you just observe them, they like to avoid themselves from reality all the time. They like to get away from the truth all the time. They don't like to face reality head on. And then most of the time, society tells them, or life shows them, that you can't really run away from this. And then they deal with the pain that comes. I would much rather have the pain of life that I bring onto myself as opposed to life bringing on pain without my control when I'm not ready. Brace yourself for the pain and take on the pain like a man. So yes, be truth telling. More importantly, be truth seeking. Truth seeking is I can't even comprehend a world where I'm not truth seeking. I'm not searching out the unflattering truths that exist. And I've done this time and time again, right? I've navigated through my own conscience the lies that I've told myself. I've done countless digging of being painfully aware of what most people just truly keep in the closet because they're unwilling to deal with the uncomfortable reality that does exist when they are presented and when they are confronted by their deepest and darkest secrets, right? So with this being said, are you going to be a person that's willing to confront these things? Or are you going to be just like everybody else that voids themselves from the truth, the real truth that you should sit with? And in life, I believe you just need to be truth seeking, right? You don't want to be lied to, do you? You watching this right now, do you want to be lied to? Do you want to just believe society's lies that society does lie about? Or do you want to be a person who seeks out the truth and who truly understands the society that we live in, the deepest and darkest secrets that it provides? Me personally, I don't want to be lied to. I don't like being lied to. I don't like finding out The worst part about being lied to is finding out that you've just been lied to. And I hate to see that. I hate to feel that. I hate to feel that pain. Society has been lying to us a lot more recently than anyone would like to admit. It is very uncomfortable to talk about society's lies that exist, that have been proven and shown time and time again in the past 5 years. Society has lied to you and deceived you so many damn times. And yet, a lot of people, they still give their full trust to an institution or to the powers that govern the world, right? They still give they still give their faith, and they still give that full the full understanding, their full trust in something that truly has deceived you, in something that is truly and obviously lied to you. That's just being dumb, in my opinion. That's just being an idiot. If you knew a person was lying to you and has lied to you in the past, it would be very, very wise of you to believe that they could lie again. And to take what they say with a grain of salt. Because if you don't, you're not preparing yourself from the potentiality of pain. Tell the truth, and you should be, like I said, you should be truth seeking. Be truth seeking. It's a hell of a journey. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, you're going to live with thrill and you're going to live with adventure. If you tell the truth, or if you seek out the truth, that is one hell of an adventure. And I know it seems like, champ, what are you talking about? Telling the truth? That's not really that much of an adventure. Jordan Peterson always says, well, go try it then. Try to tell the truth about everything. Whenever somebody asks you, tell the truth. See how it makes you feel. It's going to make you feel very, very excited. I'll say that. Excited. It'll give you a lot of interesting feelings. I'll tell you that. But nonetheless, what other reality would you want to live in? Because here's the thing. You're going to choose a thrill and you're going to choose an adventure anyways, especially if you were going to lie. That's one hell of a thrill and one hell of an adventure. But here's the thing. That adventure and that thrill, it's a little less rewarding. It's a lot more painful. It could be potentially a lot more painful. But nonetheless, I need to mention that you just need to be a person, and you should consider very, very heavily being a person who's a person who is truth seeking about society, about the lies, about yourself, about others, truth seeking. When you're truth seeking and when you tell the truth, you're acting in the highest good, like I mentioned earlier. And that isn't nothing. That is literally everything. Because anything and everything that comes out of that is truly, as I've said before, the best that it possibly could have went. And I want to mention this, and I find this to be very, very interesting, because I recently was watching a movie, and it had mentioned this part, and like I said, I just found it absolutely mind-blowing. Obviously, I already knew this, but nonetheless, it was something that was very profound when I heard it put that way. And it is this. A truth is still a truth even if no one believes it, and a lie is still a lie even if everyone believes it. So, with that being said, I'll break it down. First part, a truth is still a truth even if no one believes it. Let's just say that in society, the truth is a less common consensus of everyone. And I would say that is the unflattering reality for a lot of different truths that do exist within the world. People want to be naive. People want to be blinded. They want to be fed these flattering lies. They want to be fed all these. They just want to be fed everything that's going to make them happy instead of facing the truth of what can exist and what does exist, right? But even if no one believes it, if it is the truth, even if no one believes it, it's still the truth, right? For example, I'm going to give you one example, and I don't care what anyone says. This is the truth, right? One example that's somewhat recent, right? If you're keeping up with the Olympics at all, right, which I would recommend, do it with a grain of salt and think about it very, very much. But there's been a constant. There's been videos that have been popping up on my feed recently about this one boxer. It's actually two boxers, right? One boxer who's fighting women, and one boxer who is a woman. And you think to yourself, of course, well, women should fight women. But what if I were to tell you this woman isn't a woman and shouldn't be fighting women, right? And I understand that's an unflattering reality for the people who want to believe in this illusion and be deceived by their own I don't even know, by their own choice, right? There's going to be a lot of people nowadays that say that is okay, right? This transgender movement that is going to be all accepting and all inclusive, right? But here's the thing, a man shouldn't put his hands on a woman. And even if you call yourself a woman, but yet everyone knows you're still a man, the truth is still the truth, even if no one believes it. And if you have not recognized how society's been functioning, no one believes that. And to the point where on an Olympic stage, one of the most viewed stages that exist in the world, you still see a lie being lived out. A true deception, a true flaw of society. And here's the thing, recognize the lies that exist within society, and recognize that some of these lies, the people who truly believe in the truth, are very far and few between. And that is just an example of one of them. And here's the thing. So a truth is still a truth even if no one believes it. I would say, unfortunately, everyone realistically with the brain should be able to understand that, that is obviously wrong. A man should not fight a woman and a woman should not fight a man. That's common sense in my opinion, right? And here's the thing. A lie is still a lie even if everyone believes it, right? So if everyone believes that shit is okay to the point where they let it on the biggest stage of all, which is the Olympics, it's still a lie even if everyone believes that it's okay. So be wary of these things. Be wary of these things. Be wary of these deceptions. Be wary of this agenda that does exist. Because it'll try to convince you that the sky is green when we all know the sky is blue. And that is important. Because here's the thing. They're going to try to convince you of these delusions. These true delusions. They're going to convince you of these lies. And if you know the truth, it's within your best interest, like I mentioned earlier, to tell the truth. To speak your truth. Because what happens if not enough people speak the truth? You have a woman who's getting her ass beat in the Olympics because people are too afraid to tell others the truth of what society has. The truth of what actually exists. Even if it's unflattering. Even if no one believes it, you still must tell it. You still must tell the truth. And that is why I have created this podcast. I've created this podcast to be as truthful and as honest as I possibly can be. Because quite frankly, in a world full of people who are living within delusions and who are believing in lies, you need more people who are going to be telling the honest truth. So with that being said, do you understand that there's going to be some realities that do exist, there's some situations in life that do exist where not enough people are speaking up on the truth. And they're lying. And they want everybody to believe that lie. They want everybody to be in on this lie. Is it really within your best interest to go along with that narrative, even though you know the sky is not green? Or do you need to take a stance for what is right and what is truthful and what is honest and what is being a man of integrity and calling it what it is? If the sky is blue, I'm not going to let anyone convince me that the sky is green. I don't care how many people say it. The sky is blue. Because here's the thing. This is the way, and I've heard this explained once, and I'm going to explain it as good as I possibly can. The way that lies like that work, and like I said, I can give you plenty of examples. I'm not going to, but I can give you plenty of examples, right, of where people or society is trying to get you to believe in this lie that everyone's convinced of, right? I'll give you one of them. I'll give you one. I'll give you one. When men and women are equal, right? This is an obvious fucking fallacy. We all know this. We all know this is not the truth at all. We all know this. No matter how unflattering it is. Oh my God, men and women aren't the same? What? They're not the same? No, they're not the fucking same, right? But you got people believing in these dumbass fucking, I don't even know what to call them. These delusions. They got people believing in these delusions that, oh yeah, no, men and women are the same. We are not the same at all. Nor were we meant to be the same. In any capacity, we're not the same, right? And with that being said, that's going to be one thing that they tried to convince you of. One of many things, one of many lies that they tried to convince you of that is the truth. That is the truth, when in reality we all know it's not. And here's the thing, the more and more you get people to believe in this, the more and more those people who believed in that lie, the more that they have children, the more they tell their children, hey, men and women are the same, the sky is green, right? They grow up believing these lies, even though they know damn well it's not the truth. They have kids, and those kids have kids, and those kids have kids, and they're all raised up believing that the sky is green, even though clearly it's blue, believing that men and women are the same, clearly when that's not the truth. Then you have a bunch of people in society that are convinced that there are certain things that are just the way that they are, when in reality, they are not the way that they are. You have a bunch of people who've grown up in believing a lie when they know it's a lie. And they'll be convinced that it's the truth when we all know it's a lie. Don't you see that problem within some of these things, right? So the governing powers that be, what they're trying to do is trying to deceive you in the moment. And some people are believing this bullshit. I can't even believe it. Some people are actually believing this shit, right? But here's the thing: they're not trying to. Even if they don't get through to you right now, right? Obviously, it didn't get through to me. Obviously, they're not going to get through to my children, right? But they're playing the long game. They're trying to brainwash. They're trying to brainwash people in the long term. Even if, let's just say 15, or let's just say 50% of all people believe this lie that I told. Fine. That's completely fine. Maybe next generation. Instead of, it being 50%, believing this dumbass lie that men can fight women. Okay, well, when those kids have kids and those kids have kids, so 2 generations down, let's just say it's 75% now. 75% of everybody believes that is okay. You see what I'm saying? Then you start to trend by not telling the truth and by not speaking the truth. You start to create a trend within society of things that are truly not okay. Just because the people who tell the truth aren't willing to deal with the consequences of what that is going to entail, even if they believe it. So that is why it is important not only for you to tell the truth to yourself, to others, but to be also a seeker of the truth. And more importantly, an exposer of lies. Because quite frankly, if you want to live in the most based reality that does exist, with the most truth, as you should, it's going to look like you doing your part. You telling the truth. You being as honest and as truthful as you possibly can be, regardless of how unflattering that is. Regardless if people want to hear it or not. Because quite frankly, it is the act of the highest good. There's nothing as good as telling the truth. No matter how you slice it, man. Telling the truth is the best outcome that can be, even if it isn't flattering, even if it is a less than ideal outcome. If you told the truth, that is the best of what could have happened. Simple as that. Stop living in delusion. Reading the comments quick. Our mind is extremely powerful, so I do believe that if you lie to yourself enough, you won't be able to recognize the real truth, and that is You're speaking facts. That is true. 100% true. To the point where you got people brainwashed, as you can be brainwashed, you can be influenced to believe, like an example, right? That it is okay for a man to fight a woman. You'll be able to lie to yourself so much thinking that is okay because, at least he feels okay, or at least she feels okay in her own body or in his body, right? As long as she's comfortable, we all have to go around believing this lie that this person isn't what they are. That's not living in reality. That's not living in reality. For like actually, it's not living in reality. Don't 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 lie. Don't lie about the situation. Call it out how it is, right? And at the end of the day, I don't really care what you are at the end of the day. You're not even gonna be in my life anyway. So it doesn't even really matter at the end of the day. But the lying was just it just gets you get into murky territory. And like I said, I've explained the long term ramifications of a society of people who lie and who don't tell the truth. Their mission is to make people think. Their mission is to make people so ashamed of thinking for themselves to the point where they have no choice but to believe what they are told, and anything different is wrong. Exactly. I 100% agree with that. That's exactly the way it is. So with this being said, everyone should be seeking the truth, or you choose to live in a world filled with lies that you believe. Don't be naive. Don't be naive. Be overly conscious, be overly hyper aware if that's what it takes. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't want to live in a world that lies to you. You shouldn't want to be a person that lies to others. You shouldn't want somebody to lie to you. And of course, I'm not saying if you tell the truth 100% of the time that no one's going to lie to you. But here's the thing. If you're a person that tells the truth always and somebody lies to you, you don't even have to do anything when you find out about that lie. I don't believe you have to do anything about it. They're going to get what's coming to them anyways. Whatever it is, probably going to be bad, they're going to get whatever was meant for them. What a liar gets. Those people hopefully get lied to more than the people who tell the truth. I'll tell you that much. Because at the end of the day, if you're not telling the truth, I've had a close encounter of a person who was within my own personal life who was lying, and it is one of the most interesting things that I've ever observed within a person, is somebody lying, and believing the lies that they're telling, and convincing somebody of a lie, even though they know damn well it's not a lie. They begin to convince themselves of reality that doesn't exist. They begin to try to manipulate social situations in their favor, when in reality, it's never going to work out. If you lie, the truth is going to come out. It will bite you in the ass, and you should hope it does. The only way someone will learn a lesson is if they listen. And hopefully you don't have to go through the pain. But in reality, like I said, if you don't listen, the experience of life is going to show you the results and the ramifications of your actions that you choose. And that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. Don't be deceptive, man. I can't stand people that are like that. Don't be deceptive. Be truth be truth seeking and be truth telling, because at the end of the day, what is better than that? There's nothing really better than that. You're setting yourself up to be a person of good morals and good values, and a man of true integrity, or a woman of integrity at the end of the day. You're living with the utmost authenticity, and you're trying your best to navigate your environment in the best way that you possibly can when you tell the truth. Simple as that, man. It's as simple as that. And anything else is less than ideal. Anything else is realistically less than ideal. So a few questions I have for you to go ahead and end it off. Do you want to be a person who tells the truth? Or do you want to be a person who tells lies? And here's the thing. If you want to tell lies, fine. But are you ready for the consequences that will inevitably come, whether it's now or whether it's a few weeks from now, whether a few months from now, a few years from now, are you willing to deal with the consequences of your lies being exposed? Are you willing to deal with the character damage that will be, the internal damage for your own personal identity and for the character damage of your social reputation? Are you willing to deal with those consequences? Are you willing to deal with the karma that will inevitably be if you do lie? Are you willing to deal with those consequences? And if you are, go right ahead. Me personally, I'll pass on that. I'll pass on that. I'll tell the truth, man. I'll tell the truth. And at the end of the day, it's a work in progress. I'm not expecting you to leave this podcast and be the most truth-telling and truth-seeking person that ever existed for the rest of time. I'm not expecting that of you. But I'm saying try to tell the truth a little bit more. Understand that there's going to be an adventure and a thrill that will come from that. And live with the results that will inevitably happen. Don't be deceptive. Don't be deceptive to yourself, and don't try to be deceptive to reality and what will inevitably happen. The truth always comes to light. Doesn't matter how long it takes. If you think you've gotten away with it, congratulations, you've gotten away with it for now. But you do not get away with things that are truly bad for the rest of your life. You will pay the consequences of your actions, and you will pay them in full. And like I said, if it's not now, just wait. Just wait. Live in a world where you're truth-seeking. Be a person who seeks the truth. Don't believe the lies that are so commonly believed amongst the people who are around you. Find out the truth. Always be searching for the truth, whether it's the truth about the lies that the governing powers that be tell you, whether it's the lies that people tell you, whether it's the there's so much truth to be worth seeking for, and that is what I do. I'm a person. The character person that I am, I'm a person who tells the truth. I'm a person who's truth-seeking, and I'm a person who's an exposer of lies. That is what I do, and that is what I will continue to do for the rest of my life. I'm not living in delusion. I don't choose to believe lies. I don't choose. I'm not choosing to be deceived. I don't like that. No one likes that. And like I said, move like that. And one thing I want to just mention one more time before I go and end it off. If somebody or something lies to you, and you've learned that it has lied to you, it cannot and should not earn and maintain your full level of trust. Whether that's a person, whether that's a system, whether that's an authority, if they deceive you, if they lie to you and you found out that they lied to you, you have to move accordingly. And to move accordingly is to understand that they do not deserve your full trust. It's as simple as that. Be weary. Be weary of these things, right? You have a lot of people in society who've understood that society, well, I'll just say society, has lied to you. You cannot give your full trust when it comes to you hearing something new that's going to come out. You have to take a step back and do some critical thinking, because quite frankly, just as you would with the person that has lied to you before, you must be wary of the actions that are being taken. It's very, very important. Not enough people exercise their critical thinking abilities. They just believe exactly what they're told, and then they're surprised when they get lied to. I'm surprised you just haven't learned your lesson yet. That's my thing. I'm gonna read these and then I'm gonna end it off. Step 1, be honest. Step 2, think for yourself. Step 3, seek the truth and nothing but the truth. Don't believe in lies. Don't be manipulated. Do not be deceived. Do not be naive. Be a person who's truth-seeking, truth-telling, who's a person of integrity, who's honest. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do at the end of the day. And live with the consequences that will be from those decisions. Because like I said, at the end of the day, even if you told the truth and it didn't exactly end up the most favorable way that it could have been for your own personal life or for whatever, for a selfish reason, at least you did all you could. At least you were who, at least you were the most of who you could be. You were as authentic as you possibly could be, and whatever comes of that is exactly what was supposed to happen and is the best outcome that could have ever happened. That's all I have to say for today's episode. A few things I want to say before I end it off. Make sure you go and follow me on Twitch, TikTok, and on Rumble as well on Spotify. And if you're watching on Spotify, make sure you go ahead and follow me on YouTube as well, or subscribe on YouTube as well. This was a Life of a Champ podcast, episode 202, talking about the truth, right? What everyone needs and what few want to hear. A few things I want to say before I'm going to end it off. Tap in with the next podcast on Thursday. Should be an interesting one, as well as I'll be doing a music live stream next Thursday night. So I'll tap in with that for sure. Other than that, next live stream, if there's any videos or any YouTubers or creators that you want me to go ahead and react to, let me know for sure. I'll be reacting to some more videos on Monday. Tap in with that as well. Other than that, leave a like on my YouTube shorts. Tap in with those as well. And if you need any help, let me know. Reach out to me. Y'all have a good rest of your nights. And other than that, I've said everything I need to say, man. Thank you for your time and attention. Y'all have a good night, man.